Hey, what's up guys? It's Matt with the Movement System. In this video, we're going to talk about shoulder pain with cricket bowling. I'm here with Dr. Zakiev Zal, physical therapist, and we're both going to talk to you about this pain that you might be having. At the end of this video, we're going to give you 2 drills to help immediately start to resolve your symptoms and just generally get you feeling better. To start off though, why might someone be having shoulder pain with cricket bowling?
So with bowling, we understand that it's a full body movement, but it is heavily taxing on the shoulder, right? The ability for the shoulder to go through a full 180 degree range of motion and flexion, be able to go into external rotation, internal rotation is all very, very important. And not only that, you're doing it at very fast speeds. If it was just the shoulder moving, then we wouldn't be able to move it as fast of a speed as we see at bowling. But because of the running start, because of the wind up that we get, we do see a pretty fast moving shoulder at a really quick velocity. So we need to be able to handle those forces. Along with the forces, range of motion that's required at the shoulder during bowling is much more than it's required during batting or during normal throwing. So we want to make sure that the shoulders are nice and mobile and they move pretty well. On top of that as well, since it is a full body movement, if other parts of your body aren't working the way they should be working, whether it's the hips, the legs, the thoracic spine, the lower back, the neck, we will see an increased risk of stress at the shoulder, which if you're not handling it well enough can lead to increased pain.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we can think about here. We can think about mobility of the shoulder. We can also think about strength of the shoulder as well as stability of the shoulder. So different exercises that you might choose would work on specific deficits. So if you notice that you have a range of motion deficit, for example, you can preferentially work on your range of motion. And if, for example, you're noticing some weakness, then maybe that's something that you want to address. So we're going to give it a shot with 2 exercises, but don't think that these are the only exercises that are magically going to work for you. These are just 2 exercises to get started with and teach you a little bit about it.
Yeah, and when you look at the ability for you to understand what your shoulder needs, you have to, get some testing and some assessments of it, right? So if you have a limited shoulder in terms of mobility, then most likely we'll see your limited shoulder in any position you go into, whether you're raising it over your head or in this position. Nothing really changes it when it comes to if you're moving it or somebody else is moving the shoulder. But if you're having a strength deficit or a control deficit, then generally if gravity is helping you or somebody else is helping you move the shoulder, it moves pretty well. But when you move it on your own volition and you try to move it by yourself, you'll have some deficits or might have some symptoms there. So that's a kind of a general way to understand, do I need mobility or do I need strength and control? The exercises we're going to work on are going to work on a little bit of both of them. But like Matt said, we're not looking to fix every shoulder problem. These are just a great place to start if you are experiencing some shoulder symptoms.
Yeah, and if you're looking at shoulder information and you're hearing terms like internal and external rotation, we'll give you a quick visual for what that looks like. So from the side, if anyone's talking about internal rotation, that would be this motion. So the motion of going down with the hand is internal rotation, and then the motion of coming up like this is external rotation. And generally speaking, we want to see that you're at least getting to like a straight line here on external rotation without your rib cage coming up like this with your back straight. And then generally we want to be able to come down beyond 90 degrees, closer to here with internal rotation without your shoulder rolling forward. So that's just a good place to eyeball it and understand the terminology that we're using here as we get into our first exercise, which is going to be a band external rotation resistance drill. So if you have a band, that's a good place to start here. We're going to give you that handle. So what Zakie's going to do here, I'm going to provide some tension by pulling that band tight, and then Zakie's going to keep his elbow really close to his rib cage here, and then go through the motion of external rotation. So down by the side, that external rotation motion is going to look like this. It's going to be nice and slow and controlled, working out to the side and then coming back in. So you can see he's not going out to the side and then coming back in quickly. It's slow and controlled in both directions. A good place to start with this is about 10 to 15 repetitions for 2 to 3 sets. You can also do an isometric, which is just a hold. If that's irritable, that might be a good place to start. And then you could work into full range of motion once you feel like you can tolerate that.
And a quick couple tips for this as well is you want to make sure that as you go into external rotation, the tip of your shoulder right here, it's not moving back and forth with this drill. We're looking to build control at just the shoulder joint itself. If the tip of the shoulder is moving back and forth, we're actually looking more at the shoulder blade. And the other thing you want to understand as well is, like Matt said, the elbow by the side, make sure we're not cheating. We don't want to pick it up and go out to the side and use other muscles that we're not specifically working on in this case.
Even if it feels kind of weak, that's the point of this exercise. If those muscles are weak and this drill is tough and it's fatiguing the back of your shoulder blade right here, that's a good sign that you're actually doing the drill right. We're gonna head over to the wall and show you drill number 2.
So this is drill number 2. It's called the controlled articular rotation of the shoulder. So with this, the first word there is very, very important. We want to have control during this exercise, nice and slow. So we want a wall that we're going to work with. We're going to start with the back of my hand in front of my body, back of my hand against the wall. The entire time I'm doing this exercise, I'm going to be pushing with some force into the wall. It doesn't have to be really hard to start with. It can even be 5% of maximum, and that's what we can start with to make sure we can do this exercise. Also, the further away I move from the wall, the easier this exercise gets. The closer I get to the wall, the harder it gets, and the more it starts simulating the actual bowling motion of the shoulder. So I know bowling goes from back to front, but what we're gonna start with is actually front to back because it's easier to control. So as I'm pushing my hand to the wall, I'm gonna make a big circle, nice and slow and controlled. This whole time, I'm making sure my ribs don't flare up, I'm making sure I'm still breathing, and I'm making sure that I'm pushing into the wall the entire time. As I get to the top here, what I want to flip my hand, and my palm is now towards the wall. I'm not rotating towards the wall. I'm trying to keep my chest forward, and I'm going down, still pushing into the wall, still pushing into the wall, still pushing into the wall. As I come back down here, I'm flipping my hand again, and now I'm back at that starting position. As you can see, that whole rep took about 15 seconds. So that's how long we want to take. This is quality over quantity. So if we do a couple in that direction, then we can go a couple in the back to front direction. Generally, you're doing about 3 reps in each direction per set and seeing how your shoulder feels. The goal here is not to crank your shoulder into irritable positions that pisses off the shoulder more. We want to work the shoulder in tolerable ranges and then gradually start increasing the ability for you to get closer and closer to the wall to access a full range of motion.
So hopefully those 2 drills help you get started, and if you do have any questions or any other ways that you think we can guide you, go ahead and drop a comment below and we will try to point you in the right direction. Also, if you've enjoyed these drills and you want some more drills, you can download the 5 key drills to improving your cricket performance in the description below. Lastly, if you are interested in a full comprehensive training program that's going to build your strength and build your stability, then go ahead and check out our full 12-week program in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will catch you in the next one.